Welcome to the MSDW podcast. I'm Jason Guppert, editor at msdynamicsworld.com. On this episode, we are talking mobility use cases and solutions with Power Platform. My guest on this episode is Stano, Senior Vice President at Resco, and we discuss how organizations are really handling mobility on Power Platform today, the realities they face, and innovations that can extend a Power Platform-based development project. Resco is the sponsor of this episode, and Ivan shares not only the latest Resco vision for Power Platform mobility, but practical steps any Microsoft customer can take to get involved in building a comprehensive approach to mobile solutions. Well, hi, Ivan. Thanks for being here to chat about mobility.
Hello, Jason. Great pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, excellent. Why don't we start with just a broad view of where you see Power Platform mobility today when you talk to customers, to partners, to developers?
That's a good start, I think. So obviously my thoughts or my view of it is got to be heavily influenced by mobility, mobile apps, mobile solutions and technologies, because that's what we've been involved with for the last 20 plus years. But the last little less than 12 months, I think, we've done a really rigorous and rich interactions, calls, meetings, demonstrations, lots of conversations with over 80 different organizations. And they've been mostly on the side of partners, but we also talked a lot to our existing customers, our prospects, MVPs as well, and some Microsoft folks as well. And our main goal was to try to really identify and define maybe what's going on with Power Platform, Dataverse when it comes to mobility. And to be honest, we kind of identified like three main groups. Obviously, partners are a big and important focus group or target group for us because a lot of our operations is done through partners. The second focus group is customers, what our existing customers are doing, how they're utilizing and leveraging Power Platform and Dataverse. And the third interesting group is prospects, right? So companies or organizations who don't use Resco or maybe don't even use Dynamics, Dataverse, and Microsoft technologies that much yet. And we found some interesting facts, actually. When it comes to partners, it seems like a lot of partners in the last year plus have joined the efforts of Microsoft building their own Power Platform practices, their own Power Platform teams. Lots of partners are now defining them as separate business units, not related to Dynamics or not part of the Dynamics teams and Dynamics departments. Lots of them are building micro-vertical solutions that we learned a lot. They're targeting specific use cases and verticals where they're utilizing Power Platform, being obviously less robust compared to some of the Dynamics 365 products, being more affordable as the price point is much lower, and giving partners a lot of confidence that they can digitalize any process that their customers or their prospects are in need of. So that's on the side of the partners. The second group, the customers, we found out that a lot of our existing customers know us because of being that mobile add-on to Dynamics 365. But a lot of them either have something else that they use for mobile needs or just have like a good enough solution. But most of them already have Dataverse and Power Platform. They just use it for different reasons, different needs, different departments, for moving data back and forth, for collecting some data from the field or running some reports, etc. And the last group, the prospects, that's kind of quite interesting to me. We found two kind of approaches to that. It's either custom applications, so companies who don't run on Resco, don't run on Dynamics, Power Platform, and Dataverse. And we quickly uncovered what we've known for a long time, that that's a hard job to do. To maintain your custom developed application is a hard job, especially when you have a couple of developers leaving the company, all the knowledge is lost, and also keeping those apps alive in the ever-changing mobile application technology landscape. It's not a trivial job. But we also found out that there are lots of these prospects use third-party solutions. Maybe the audience and you will be familiar with like GoForms, eCompliance, AMCO, Exxon, etc., etc. So technologies and solutions that are not part of the Microsoft family, not built on top of the Microsoft technology. And we would love to help these customers and these companies come and embrace the Microsoft technology stack.
All right, so pretty broad range of different situations, I would say. The one that really jumps out to me there is, and maybe we'll get into this a little more, is, it sounds like you've talked to a lot of customers who are just dealing with what they have and really are not super excited about the current state of their mobile capabilities, that it's good enough, or maybe they're dealing with it even if it's not what they would opt for if they had the choice or if they could start over again.
Definitely. I think how you described it would be part of the good enough concept, where we have something in runs. Maybe it's not perfect, and unless it's completely broken, we're going to keep using that. That's what we're finding as being one of the most common denominator for these groups.
Maybe on the other side of things, for our listeners, it would be good to talk a little bit about how Microsoft and Resco's histories sort of intertwine over recent years, how to make sense of that in today's world, what the present status is, and where you both find yourselves. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, makes sense. And I bet a lot of your listeners, because you've been covering everything Microsoft Dynamics related for a long time, must be familiar with Resco in one way or the other, because we've been in our ISV role for close to 2 decades now. But it's one of the things that we're really struggling with, right? Because a lot of companies, I bet you as well, know us from supporting Microsoft's Dynamics 365 field service product with our mobile technology. So that's actually one of our biggest challenges, is how we can drop that field service mobile label, if you will, and really uncover all the other areas where we're helping companies to build robust mobile applications or digitally mobilize their field workers, frontline workers, whether there are sales professionals, inspectors, auditors, technicians, whatever their job in the field entails. And just a funny statistic to support that, we actually found out that more than 40% of our customers use Resco for sales scenarios, and just a little over 10% for completely custom scenarios that have nothing to do with field service, nothing to do with sales. So when you combine those two, you're actually getting more than half of our customers being non-field service. So in reality, I think we're more non-field service than field service, but somehow we got that image and brand of a field service mobility guys.
Yeah, and it's, I guess, within the Microsoft Business Apps space, it's kind of easy to understand how that happened, the increased sort of awareness of just that particular area, even as Resco as a company and your technology stack, I think, was continuing to evolve even during that time, right? All through the sort of field service, the time when that was more visible, and now that's sort of less visible and not really emphasized anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah, that change is inevitable. We're very lucky. We have Ben Vollmer, who I'm sure the whole audience and the readership knows really well, who's working with us and helping us with the change so that we can uncover new avenues for Resco and how we can keep building the business and prosper going into the future.
Yeah, can we talk about maybe a few of those developments in the meantime over recent years? Like, what are some of the things that listeners should be aware of that you've been working on?
So there's, I think, like 3 kind of interesting areas that we're investing into. The number one, we call it the productivity suite. So think of those as components, tools, little modules that will enhance the Power Platform and how robust the Power Apps, Power Pages, etc., all the components and apps in the Power Platform suite can work and how they can run for customers. Really excited about that. We first uncovered it at Resco Next in Spain last fall, and we keep working on it. We got quite a lot of very positive and encouraging feedback from our channel, but also from our customers who are starting to use that in their projects. And we keep investing into this even more. More news there soon. The second area is verticalization of Resco, but also in conjunction with Power Platform. So far we call it the vertical solutions or templates for Power Platform. We identified so far 2 strong candidates that we're going after. It's the energy/oil and gas vertical, where we see a lot of needs for solutions that require strong offline capabilities, robust application, ability to handle lots of data. So strong questionnaires, pictures, etc., really areas that we excel at and shine. And we have quite a lot of customers already using Resco that way. The other vertical is inspections in housing industry. We uncovered that there's a lot of picture taking, data collection, data harvesting activities related to that. And Resco combined with Power Platform makes perfect sense for companies who are involved in these processes. And the last area is really targeting partners that are in need of adding strong, robust offline mobility for their Power Platform projects. So that's more of the traditional image of Resco and then the product that we've been pushing out, but working with Dynamics. Now we've extended that for Power Platform where Dataverse is the backend, and we can pretty much bring any data through our native applications to the field with all the great benefits and value that Resco has been known for such a long time.
I guess maybe using it more as a toolkit that partners can turn to bring their projects to completion, to deliver what their customers want when it comes to offline, especially. And yeah, I guess that was my follow-up was, I think of offline, but are there other areas where people are looking to augment what Power Platform and Dataverse can do in particular that Resco really likes to step up right now?
So that's mostly the first category, the productivity suite, to be maybe more concrete there. So what can the listeners think of that, or what to imagine what that really is all about? So far we have 3 strong components called Forms Plus, Docs Plus, and Steps Plus. So Forms Plus is our questionnaire inspection functionality that can fully run within the model-driven Power App and Power Pages. The Docs Plus is a component that helps building reports in Power Platform. And the Steps Plus is a solution for providing guides, manuals, and any supportive documentation and materials for people in the field that can be again utilized through the Power Platform. And you'll see more and more of these modules coming from us. Think of those as everything that we learned about what it means to run a great mobile solution or a solution in the field that we developed, that we're carving out of Resco and injecting into Power Platform so that platform becomes even more robust than it currently is.
All right, excellent. You already hinted at this, but what else can you tell us that's coming from Resco in the rest of 2024?
Lots of exciting stuff. 2024 is going to be really busy, as it already is at the time we're recording this. But there's 3-4 big highlights for me. One of the biggest ones is Resco Next, our annual conference. It's going to be the 10th anniversary. So 10 years in making. And it's in Vienna in early June 3 to 5, if I'm not mistaken. And we're really excited to host our customers, our partners, our prospects, the MVPs and Microsoft over there in Vienna, Austria. This is going to be a great event, great show. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, the verticalized solution that I mentioned, Trevor, my colleague, is in charge of that will be releasing in early Q2. So that's something to look forward to. The productivity suite that we spent talking a little bit towards the end, we're going to keep adding more and more modules there and making it a more complete offering. And also, we're collaborating with you this year, MS Dynamics World. So I'm excited about a new variety show that Trevor is going to work with you and Adam on this year, where we're going to bring in a more casual setting, some more content, interviews, news, maybe some more discussions, demos, or live Q&As this year. So lots to look forward to. I'm excited and can't wait to see how the 2024 shapes up.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think with, one of the things about what Resco does, and as you mentioned, the various kind of customer and partner work that you see happening, there's so many different stories and so many interesting ways that these tools are put to use, whether it's starting with an industry solution or whether it's really starting from scratch to do something that a team maybe otherwise wouldn't do or wouldn't think was reasonable within the scope of their project, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Well, Ivan, it's been fun catching up with you here. I know we do, like you said, have a lot more to hear about as the year goes on, but thanks for being here. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for the invite. Always a pleasure, Jason, and look forward to talking to you soon.
This has been another episode of the MSDW podcast. My thanks once again to Ivan for joining me. And this message from Resco. Check out Resco's webcast coming next month on MS Dynamics World. You can also join them in Vienna for Resco Next 2024 later this year. Visit resco.net/power-platform or contact Ivan at resco.net to learn more. And that's it for this episode. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email, jason@msdynamicsworld.com. Until next time, this is MS Dynamics World, signing off.